Now, thank you so much. All protocols observed. Good morning. My name is John Tarus, Deputy Principal Administration, Rift Valley Technical Training Institute. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my humble duty to briefly say something small concerning this particular Worldskills competition. Now, first and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation for the organizers for this particular Worldskills competition on mechatronics and mechanical AutoCAD. There is need to introduce other technologies such as the development of new ideas so that as we progress with the mechatronics and the AutoCAD, there is need to look at the issues of the drones so that as we do our activities in our various training institutions, we can be able to know more and be able to use the drones and to develop so that we can be able to do more concerning other technologies that emerges in the field. Your efforts in organizing this particular event has seen a tremendous change in terms of trying to tap the skills which our learners have. At times, we can have an idea, and this idea to put into practice at times requires some efforts. And these efforts can be seen from this particular Worldskills competition. If we can be able to tap this from our trainees, then we will be heading in the right direction. I would also like to thank all the participants for their hard work and dedication. Your innovative ideas and solutions have shown great promise in addressing the challenges we face today. To the judges, your expertise and fair evaluations have been crucial in making this event success. Thank you for the work which was well done. As TVET institutions, our mission is at the forefront in creating practical solutions to local problems through application of emerging technologies such as Industry 4.0 and the Metaverse. We need more collaboration with institutions and universities such as Kimathi University in terms of technology advancement and expertise. If we really collaborate and ensure that we team together, we have some equipments that we lack in our TVET institutions and they are available in such a prestigious institution. So if we can be able to have more of MOUs so that we can be coming in once in a while so that our trainees can be able to get a tip of the knowledge in those areas of the equipments that you have, then we will be heading in the right direction. TVETA should also guide TVET institutions in developing curriculum which is steered towards solving the problems we have in the market. The occupational standards and the curriculum should be also in line with the market demands so that as we train these trainees, when they graduate, they'll be able to fit into the market when we exercise what the market really requires. However, we face significant challenges, particularly in terms of funding, the limits of our ability to implement the programs that incorporate cutting-edge technologies such as mechatronics. Like our institutions, we have been going to our neighboring institution to do practicals because we lack the equipments to train our trainees. Therefore, I would like to appeal to CIFA and the organizers to simplify the funding process and consider earmarking centers of excellence for programs like this, which all immense potential for our future. At the same time, trainers require capacity building, especially on programming and the link between the hardware and the software, so that they can be able to have a clear cut on how to incorporate the hardware that we have in the field and the software, so that they can be able to make the progress to move on. It is like you have a wheel, and this wheel must move from one state to another. So for this to occur, then it means our trainers should be equipped with more knowledge and skills, so that they can be able to transfer the same knowledge and skills to our able trainees. Finally, I want to emphasize on the importance of equipping our trainers with the skills that they need to effectively pass on the knowledge to the trainees. By doing so, we can ensure that the skills being taught are aligned with what the market requires, ultimately contributing to a more skilled and competitive workforce. Thank you once again to everyone who was involved in this event, and wish you a good day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Tarus. This is good remarks on ideas of what we have to improve. We have received, the DVC and the Secretary General, we have received a lot of comment and feedback from the competitors, from the team. And what's important to note is an issue of gender in these skill areas. We have noted that in mechatronics, we had only men competing. Then we are trying to say, can we maybe have competition for ladies? Not in all the games, ladies are not competing with men directly, either in running, either in football. Why don't we try to say we have also competition to encourage the gender to have competition, for example, in mechatronics as a start. Then we see how far we can go to encourage the women and females to be part of the competition. I would like to invite one of the competitors to tell us how he has seen or she has seen the competition. I would invite someone from KUCT and come to give us some remarks on how you have seen the competition. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. All protocols observed. Afternoon. I think it's afternoon. Okay, so first of all, appreciation to the institution itself for hosting the very competition. We are grateful. We know it's also a bit demanding from your end, so we are grateful for hosting the competition. The competition itself, I'm also grateful that this year we involved mechanical CAD. Yeah? Last year we only had Industry 4.0 and mechatronics. Yeah? So with mechanical CAD, we've gotten to actually involve more trainees. Prof has mentioned about mechatronics only involving gentlemen. We don't have ladies in mechatronics, that's true. But yeah, we appreciate the exposure that we've had. Access to these particular stations, we only get to access them while we are in industrial training. While in school, we don't get access to such stations. Yeah? So it's exposure that we really appreciate. It gets to build on our practical skills. It gets to build on our technical skills. So besides winning, it's an exposure that we really, and an experience that we really appreciate. Yeah. Besides that, thanks to our judges, I think they are fair enough. They were fair enough and more friendlier than last year. They were actually fair enough and more friendlier, and we appreciate that. Yeah, all the judges, we appreciate it. Besides that, yeah, best of luck and congratulations to the winner. We don't know yet, but yeah, congratulations to the winner. And we're looking forward to hosting more such sessions. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I like to hear this kind of remarks. I wanted to hear a lady from CAD. We want one lady from CAD to tell us how the competition was. I want the last one in the last chair. Yes, yourself. You can come tell us how the CAD was, CAD competition. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Julia Mwai from Kisii National Polytechnic. I'm proud to be here. I've had a better experience, but it has been tough. We have been stretched out, and we have learned. As they say that every day is a learning day, I really appreciate, and I hope for more competitions like this. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel like when the competition is like this and you find people are really appreciating what the experts are saying, I would like to request one of the instructors, Annette from Kisii Polytechnic. She's in automotive. So we want her to tell us her experience in automotive as a trainer, and what she could recommend. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Annette Msebe from Kisii National Polytechnic. First of all, this is my first time to be part and parcel of Worldskills, so it is a privilege to be here. So since Monday, when we started with briefings, we were expecting a lot. But when the competition started, we learned that we need to go there, and by Monday we need to call a meeting with our management and say, we really need to revise our curriculum. We really need to align our curriculum with what the industry has. We really need to put more effort on what the industry needs from our trainees. To the trainers that have participated, I know we have something to give back to our institution. How I wish that whatever we are going back with is for the benefit of our trainees, because it's like a hospital. We train doctors for the hospital. So in TVET space, we train technicians, we train engineers, future engineers. So the industry is the hospital for us. So congratulations in advance for those who managed. And those who didn't manage, I think, and I hope that you're going back to work on yourself, improve on your skills, the softwares that you don't know yet, let it be as a motivator for you to get them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for good remarks. It's very important to see this kind of appreciation when it comes to really Worldskills competition. I would like to request our Director Research. He has been coming here, going back home, coming here back, then to tell us what was observation on the linkages between the universities and the TVET institution.
Our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration and Finance, standing in for the Vice Chancellor, Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, the African Standards Secretary General, the TVETA Director, Wanyeki, and all the participants in this exercise, good afternoon. One thing I want to note is that from Monday, that's right, I met a very dedicated team here, very busy in all the sections. As I know I'm not a mechatronics engineer. I'm not an engineer in the first place. But I love science, And as an innovator, the type of work I saw being implemented here, I can tell you those brains involved. And our Vice Chancellor here, what I can report is that the team that I saw working from Monday, it was a cohesive team, and everyone looked very engaged, and we really appreciate this, Professor Bosco. This is a nice thing, and it projects our university in the right mode. And we really appreciate all the teams that came. I've been here from Monday, occasionally visiting various stations. The type of technology that was being displayed is a contribution to the growth of our country. And to me, as a scientist, I really embrace that, and I congratulate all the teams. Whether you will win or not today, but I want to congratulate you in advance. Clap for yourself. Because it's a great effort that all of you put in. And for those days that you have stayed here, I know you have learned something. So as a university, one thing that we want to assure you is that we shall continuously support, and if there is anything that probably you have observed in the 4 days or 5 days stay here that probably we are short of, as a linkage person, I would like to know your feelings, and if there's something that we need to do, we are ready to implement. I hope that for you, probably who is coming here for the first time, and you have seen something that you want us to improve on, kindly let us know. But we appreciate your cooperation. We have not heard of anything that is probably contrary to what we expect. That means all of you are highly focused. But again, as engineers, we don't expect anything else but the best. So we wish you all the best for those ones who have won, and we welcome you back for those ones coming back again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the good words, Director. We would like to take this opportunity to invite our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration and Finance, to have remarks, and invite the Secretary General for Africa Standard Organization. Then at the end we'll have the TVETA, because this event is really for you, TVETA, to have closing remarks to help us to announce the winners. Thank you. The VC.
Thank you. Yeah, so maybe before I say anything, I would like to give the Dean School of Engineering to greet us, because this the programs belongs to his school. So, Dean, you can say something just to greet us.
Okay, thank you very much, DVC, and all protocol observed. Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Dr. Josephat Tanui. I'm the Associate Dean, School of Engineering, and I'm here on behalf of Dean School of Engineering today. So I'm very happy that this event has taken place in DeKUT. We thank the Ministry of Education through TVETA for choosing our institution, and also the university management for allowing this event to take place. I also thank all the organizers of this event from our side, DeKUT, led by Professor Bosco, and also from the ministry. We thank you very much. It has given us a good opportunity for our students to participate, and also for our staff to be the judges. So we are really very happy. Thank you very much, all the participants. Congratulations for participating in this event. And for the winners, we wish you well as you continue with the competition. Thank you very much.
Clap for the Dean. Yeah, so Director General Tiveta, who is well represented here by the Deputy Director, Dr. Wanyeki, Secretary General, African Organization for Standardization, Dr. Amojin, our Director for Research, the Dean, the organizer of this event, Professor Bosco, and the TVET representation here, led by Paul, not Paul Charles, who represented all the other TVET institutions, the participants, ladies and gentlemen, and all protocols observed. Good morning. Good morning. Are we happy that we are coming to the end of the competition? Yeah, so I'm happy to be here to close in the closing ceremony of this competition. As we know, it started on Monday. I think the 3 days I've been very busy. I passed through here and I saw everybody was very, very busy. So we are happy that this has ended well. First, we, as a university, and on behalf of the university management and the VC, Professor Mushiri, we want to say that we feel humbled to be the institution to host this event. It's a national event. And this is not the first time, as I said on Monday, this is the 3rd time that we are hosting this event. And we are happy to do so. Even next year, you can still come here. And this being the University of Technology, this is the best venue for this institution because the latest machines that we have, you can see them. I like the way the lady from Kisii Institute has said, she has noted the gap that is between the curriculum that we have and the latest technologies in the market or in the industry. So this is why such an event is so important, because you are able to benchmark, you are able to engage with your peers, and you can be able to see what we are not doing right. So for me, on behalf of the management, we are really very happy, we are supportive of this competition. And the way it has been proposed by Charles, that now we should have more competition areas apart from mechatronics. This time we added the mechanical CAD. We hope next year there will be 3 or 4 so that now more students can participate. I'm sure that during the process or during this competition, the students have learned from each other. There was a lot of learning from each other. There was a lot of coaching from the experts. And now, even if you are not a winner, what you have learned and the skills that you have seen and the inspiration to see that you can be able to do what others are doing is something very, very important. So we appreciate our competitors for being courageous. You know, to go and compete, you have to be courageous, isn't it? When I saw them on Monday, they were there waiting to start. And the other students who are looking around, I could see some admiration from the other students because of these competitors. So you are courageous, you came, you have done it, and whatever the outcome, it doesn't matter. What matters is you participated, you see the area of improvement, and for those who will win, we congratulate you in advance, because is it in September when they will... next year they will represent us in Zambia. And when they go there, they go as Kenyans. So we are very happy for you, for the winners. We don't know them yet, but we will know them. The other thing I would like to say is this university being a university of technology, we are very keen on innovation because it is only the innovations that can take the country forward, and that is how we can be able to contribute to the industry and even to the development of our nation and also to solve global challenges. So when you compete within institutions, then you go to national competitions, you learn something new, then you go to the Africa level, and then eventually you go to the international scene, then it means there's so much that you can learn and bring back to our country, isn't it? So we are very proud, and as a university, we will continue to support this process. As a university, we also want to give special thanks to the coordinator of this program, that is Professor Bosco. He has been very passionate. When he first came and said, oh, I want to participate with the TVET institution, we were asking him, can you justify what you want to do? We were not very sure, but he was very passionate. He explained to us, and now the whole management is in it. And that is why we are here supporting. The VC is not here, but he said, go and say, I support this process. So, and he also sent his greetings. So can you appreciate him for accepting? Yeah, so by the way, he is so committed to such an extent that during the preparation, he had to put up a committee to help the organizers to put up this issue. So that can show the level of the commitment that the university has. I also like the suggestions that were made by the people, by the participants, that it is during this kind of competition or function that, for example, you can see which equipment we don't have. And if you now see the equipment that your institution do not have, you know it is there, and now the next thing is to request for it or to see how you can partner. If there is an issue in the curriculum, then we can see where there is a gap and we can be able to advise. So I think this is, apart from being a competition, there are so many things that we are running that we can improve our institution. So we like to appreciate the five TVET institutions, yeah, that have come to participate. When you go back, tell your manager, something independent, so you can clarify. So welcome, Dr. Amojin. Clap for him as he comes.
Good morning. Or is having hosted this competition, Prof. Esther, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Director, TVETA, Director Orengo for research, now given a mandate to continue these processes. this way. Otherwise, you will have rash on your skin. Meaning standard is our life, is in everything. If we are in this building, how often do you look up there scared that it's gonna fall on you? Because they followed the standard in building this school of engineering. Those are standard. Cement, we are in engineering. In the rural area, when we were constructing a house, you can send someone, go and bring a bag of cement. But in engineering, you know, cement for foundation and the other cement for building the walls are not the same. To be here when we are looking at the skills. Standards are documents developed by experts, by research lecturers, as teachers, because you have skills. When you look at the standards that are all over, you know probably Kenya Bureau standard. The ARSO is that, you see ARSO, ARSO on that banner. That is African Organization for Standardization. That started in 1977, is hosted by the government of Kenya. What do? We do harmonization of standard. Kenya might put on a standard for tires. It's an example, tires. And if you have a different standard for tires and you drive to Uganda and your tire bursts and is different from Uganda, you will not find a tire in Uganda to put on your car. Meaning they should communicate. The connectivity, we should have same standard because we are not isolated. And when we harmonize the standard, we make sure that a Kenyan standard, a Nigerian standard, a Egyptian standard, they are the same. Then at continental level, we have same standard. What we call 1-1-1 principle. One standard, one test, one certificate. If I have a standard for water and is tested in Kenya, I shouldn't retest it again. It should be able to cross the whole border. You also understand we have Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Have you heard about it? AFCFTA. That is a market that we want from the whole Africa, 1.49 billion of people, to be able to trade to one another. You leave just Kenya alone, you leave East Africa, but you can trade with West Africa, you can trade with the Southern Africa. Standards have three key issues that I want you, the future experts, as a student to understand. One is the safety of people. When I talk about safety, it's like what you are dealing with in the fourth industrial revolution. Also being hosted in Kenya, but we also host a secretariat, what we call Oceanis, the open community for ethics in automation and intelligent system. You need to be able to put on tools like what I saw yesterday, but you need also to understand how ethical it is. Because this fourth industrial revolution and artificial intelligence, when now we are sitting here with different cameras, we start thinking, oh, maybe someone is looking at me. It's like a big brother. Maybe whatever we are now dealing with at home, you know the cases that's happened that even the TVs at our home might be spying on us. How ethically do you deal with this new technology? That is on safety issues in everything that we do. Second is about trade. Trade, it helps in trade because it has value addition. One key issue, because they are developed by experts like you, is that standard is cheaper in knowledge transfer. It's cheaper than patenting. It's cheaper because it's a consensus-based. Experts sit together and agree to develop a document that we can all use, all of us. If you look at your computers, you will see CE mark. CE mark is a mark for European market. It's if you are manufacturing a computer and you want to trade it in Europe, you should look at all the standards, thousands of standards just on a computer that you say, I conform to European market. That it helps now in the trade. The third, it's on environmental issues. You know we are in climate change. How do we respond to environmental issues? I heard yesterday, Prof, that you have researchers on shea butter. We have in the European Union, by 2025, what we call EU deforestation regulation. That's all products must be certified as eco-labeled. Eco-labeled. How do we respond to environment? In Africa, we have eco-mark. It's a label. If we don't look at it, our tea, our coffee will not access the European market anymore because on environmental issues. My last comment, it's on the theme of African Union. Do you know African Union? If you don't know, do you know Honorable Raila Odinga? Honorable Raila Odinga is vying to be the chairperson of African Union. Yeah? The president of African Union. That's where ARZO comes from. It's an African Union body. We have a theme this year which is called Educate Africa Fit for 21st Century. Why 21st century? It's what you are doing here. It's a fourth industrial revolution. If we want to develop, we have 4 key sectors at the continental level where you can help. Where if you prepare the next event, the next skill competition, you might focus on. The first one is the common one, agriculture and the food product. That is our priority. How can we feed our people? And you know, feeding our people, it's not just on quality, it's also on quantity. How you understand today that in powder milk, other big companies have gone so far in artificial intelligence, in a powder milk issues, you can trace and know the cow that has given this milk is from Kisii or is from Nanyuki. In that powder that you see from Nestle or from other companies, that's where we should be. We should be able to trace in whatever we are doing. That is AI. That is on food. The second sector is automotive. Automotive sector. We are moving to electrical cars. We are moving to these electrical cars, but which solution are you giving? I was telling Bosco, the solution we want are a solution for our problems. Africa should not work as brokers. We are not there to sell ideas of others. We can use their tools because they have the tools, but how are we responding to the needs of Nyeri? If Dedan and Kimathi is here, how are we giving the solutions on that? That is on automotive. The third sector is pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals, that is our key priority at the level of Africa. We are talking about vaccines. We are talking about now the tablet, the vitamin, starting in children, nutrition, fortified food. What do you mean by fortified food? You take beans, you add other vitamins. Which solution are you giving? Are you sure that the food is safe for us? We should be the one. Let's say we are the one producing more coffee, more tea, but look at the machinery in the coffee industry. You know the first producer for machines for coffee is Germany. Do they produce coffee? No. But the thinking we should change, Prof, is that if we are leading in this industry, we should think value chain. Thinking value chain is that I have my coffee, but start thinking, how am I going to transform coffee and drink it? Those are the solution for TVET. Yeah, I have potatoes. Why should I buy the potato chips from Europe? Imagine, from Europe. Because I did not think about the machine to cut those potatoes. We should think value chain while we are developing anything. You don't stop there. You don't stop on raw materials. We shouldn't be selling tomatoes and get tomato paste. How do you put on machines that can transform the tomatoes? How do you think about how to conserve storage for those tomatoes? That is on pharmaceutical. The last sector that I even loved yesterday when I was seeing one of the project, it's also a sector that is high priority for the AFCFTA, is transport and logistics. I saw one of the project on tuk-tuk, the three-wheeler that you see more in Mombasa, mainly. Yeah, that is transport and logistics is very important for our continent because we need to be able to send our product from Kenya to Ghana. I give you a last example on transport. When the African Continental Free Trade Area started what was called Guided Trade Initiative, coffee from Kenya went to Ghana and it took 4 months to reach Ghana. While it doesn't took even 2 weeks to reach Europe. Because we don't have railways, connectivity. But how can we connect Africa? How can we even facilitate the person in Ghana to know this coffee is here? That is a solution that I saw yesterday, that a person buying something in Ghana can wear those things you have been showing us in Ghana, and I am at the field here. I show the person how my coffee looks like. I show the transformation. Then the buyer agrees, okay, I can buy this coffee. I trust the process. Those are the solutions that I saw, but we need to market them. We don't need to be prof. It's good that we are professors, we are doctors, we publish, we have papers. But how do we transform the knowledge from those papers to the really people who can use those knowledge? I thank you very much, and I am looking forward to seeing you next year by utilizing the knowledge, and I want you to participate in our technical committees. He's participating in one of the technical committee that we have. We have essay competition at continental level. By the way, the winner gets $1,000 at continental level and gets to travel in Africa at least for 3 days in one country where we have our general assemblies. and I would like Dedan Kimathi to participate. Is it through Kenya Bureau of Standard? Yeah, you can participate. I think last year the winner was from Nigeria, but we had previously winner from Kenya. And I wish you well. Yeah, I don't know who won. Yeah, but we are getting to know in few minutes. Thank you and congratulations for the nice event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Director General. Thank you so much, Secretary General. I don't know whether I could not add anything on this because I think he has educated us. I have been going to the standard, but every other day I'm understanding because it's very, very important. I was thinking about, we eat cassava in Rwanda, but you cannot trade cassava from Rwanda to Kenya. Because which standard are you following? So it means the standard, I know it is under development, and at some point we'll be seeing potatoes in Doma going from Kenya to Rwanda, or reaching to Nigeria and other countries. So let me take this opportunity to invite the Deputy Director on behalf of the Director General to announce the winners and to give us a few remarks on this event and to officially close this event. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof, for the welcome. The DVC Administration and Finance, Professor Esther. Secretary General, also Dr. Hemogen, Director Linkages, Dr. Olengo, Director CMN Center, Professor Bosco, and the Associate Dean, Dr. Tanui, judges, expert, competitors. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today, I was planning to be in one of my best behaviors because I'm before my employer. Once I'm through with my tour of duty, I'll be coming back. But in the process, a Pan-Africanist spoke before me, and I think I was radicalized again and almost changed the position that I was having of being in my best behavior. But I'll try. The DVC, first I'll start by appreciating DeKUT for partnering with Worldskills Kenya and TVET Authority to host this very important activity, which is Worldskills competition. Also allow me to appreciate Professor Bosco, who has really assisted and played a key role in organizing for this event, together with the experts, judges, and more importantly, the competitors, for gathering the courage to come and participate, and also not giving up on the way, but to struggle until you finished the tasks. Maybe the key questions that we are asking ourselves is, what's the purpose? Is this competition important? Why should we spend man hours and resources in this competition? So allow me to go through 2 or 3 reasons why we participate in or Worldskills competition is important. First is what Dr. Hemogen mentioned. This year, African Union is calling it the Year of Education. They are calling it the Year of Education. And in the summit in Addis Ababa early this year, they adopted that one way or mechanism of promoting education in Africa, what he mentioned, Educate African, fit for the 21st century, is to have Worldskills Africa. Is to have Worldskills Africa. And Worldskills Africa need membership. That means is to lobby all African countries to establish national skills competition so that we form Worldskills Africa. So that's the first reason, purpose, that we are adhering to a resolution that was passed by the African Union, that we need to have this competition so that we are able to educate an African fit for the 21st century. Secondly, these competitions are important because they promote linkages and collaboration. This way we can be able to benchmark. I'm sure most of you have taken a tour of Dedan Kimathi. Now you have an informed opinion about Dedan Kimathi. Some of you who have children who are almost going to university, maybe by coming here, you have formed an opinion that you like them to study here. For the Gen Zs, maybe you will want to progress with your education, and you have liked the infrastructure in Dedan Kimathi. Also, you will wish to come and further your studies here in Dedan Kimathi. So it builds that collaboration and benchmarking. Apart from that, most importantly, I want to note what was said here by one of the competitors, that this year you are treated better than last year in Dedan Kimathi. It means through this collaboration, also you are having an impact to the university where there is some attitude change. What is making you to be treated better is the attitude change. Professor DVC mentioned here that when Bosco introduced, they were asking him, what are you planning really to do with the TVETs? You see, but now this collaboration and linkages through this competition, I'm sure Professor Magiri will be our #1 champion in promoting competition in the country. It is because of this competition that has enhanced this collaboration. It's also an opportunity to promote skills and research in skill areas, and also to identify the gaps that exist. Before today, maybe we were not clear about the gender divide in the choice of mechatronics. It is through this competition that we have been able to identify that there's a very big gender gap, and therefore there needs designed interventions to bridge the gap. Also, I'm sure now you are very confident. If now you go to an interview where they are testing your skills in CAD and mechatronics, you have developed confidence in yourself because you have participated in Kenya skills competition at a national level. Therefore, it has built your confidence and empower this Kenyan community through skills. Lastly, on the purpose of this skills competition, DVC, is that we aim to inspire young people to develop a passion for skills and pursue excellence in skills. We know DVC, we are coming from a background where TVET was suffering a negative attitude from both potential trainees, trainers, candidates, where everybody in TVET, even the trainers, never wished their sons to or daughters to come to TVETs. But now we are having a complete change in attitude. For example, we were in a meeting recently, and where the KISI, I think, was it the KISI chief principal, one of the chief principal reported that he has admitted over 20 graduates who have gone to TVETs to acquire a skill. And that's the purpose of TVET, because TVET is for skilling. University are for knowledge. So if you require knowledge, you go to the university. Once you acquire knowledge and you feel you need some skills, you go to TVET. So Professor Magiri, if today you feel you want to know about beauty, you are most welcome to our TVET institutions. We offer a lot of courses in beauty, hairdressing, mechatronics, all the sciences. So in case you feel you need to catch a skill, that has always been our philosophy, that catch a skill, come to TVET. Now, what is the outcome of all this? What is the outcome of all this? One of the outcomes that we wish is to place Kenya in the world map as a destination for skills. We want to map Kenya in the world map as a destination for skills. We want to participate in this international competition and win. Once we win, it means we have marketed ourselves as a potential destination for skills. I'll give a sad situation or a sad scenario, Prof. Around February or March, we had some European country that wanted skilled welders. And then they came to Kenya so that they can recruit skilled welders. They landed in Nyeri. They went to Nyeri National Polytechnic. They did recruitment. They did interviews. Unfortunately, they did not get even one. They left the country, went back disappointed. We want to change that picture. Because one is we cannot export. Despite the fact we have a lot of unemployment in Kenya, currently profit standing at between the age of 15 to 25, unemployment is standing at 30%. That's very high. Out of the 30%, if you check our statistics, 15% are actually the one who are referred to as unemployed. The remaining 15% have even given up. They no longer apply for any form of employment. So they are no longer actively searching for employment because they have given up. So you can see the situation is very dire in the country. It is through this skills competition that we are able to identify the gaps, borrow from standards. Professor Dr. Hamogen has mentioned about standards. Worldskills uses what they call Worldskills occupational standards. That is the standards that they use for the competition, which is the same as our occupational standards that we use for training. But it means we borrow from the occupational standards, we benchmark, then we enhance our occupational standards so that we produce a person who meets that standards. Now, it's not only for export. That's one situation for export. But suppose those investors wanted to build a factory in Kenya. Will they come when we don't have skills? They can't come. So even for the country to be able to attract foreign direct investment, we need to have sufficient skills so that we can be able to attract foreign direct investment. They can come set up factories, and knowing very well they will not come with their expensive, because what makes those companies to come and set foot in Africa is because it's expensive to produce in their country. Labor is expensive there. So if they come to Kenya and still come with their labor, then it's not making sense. They should be able to come to Kenya and find much cheaper labor, then it makes sense to them. Then it makes sense to them. Prof, that is the reason why, or the outcome that we intend to achieve with Worldskills competition. At this point, allow me to thank all the competitors for competing favorably. We are all winners in this. As I mentioned during the opening, we don't allow competitors to defend their gold medals or their silver, because it's not about competition, it's about skilling. So we will wish to give as many as possible of the young trainees to acquire skills. So it's about skilling, it's not about winning. I'm very sure you coming from this place, there's something that you have learned. Even if you have not learned how to do it, you have learned that you don't know how to do it. Because a hallmark of intelligence is when you don't know what you don't know. That is the hallmark of intelligence. So I'm very sure you have learned something, you have identified the gaps, you know what you will wish to know, you know the areas you need to improve in the curricula, as it was mentioned, and even the trainees, you know what you ought to be taught. Now you will be asking your trainers, why are you not teaching us this? Because now you know what you are supposed to know. At this point, allow me to welcome our expert, that is Alfred Kim, to announce the winners of this competition and tell us how they have collected the marks. Then from there, I will welcome the people sitting here to take a photo with the winners of this competition. The certificates are being prepared in Nairobi. We will award you your certificates at the most appropriate time. I'll get opportunity to congratulate the winners. Karibu, Kim.
Yes, all protocols are observed. Good evening. I think this is a surprise to me. I was not expecting that. I know it's very hard for engineers to speak many words. Personally, to my experience, before I read the areas of assessment, in 2022, when I was called to represent Kenya as mechanical expert in Namibia, I never knew what is Worldskills. I just accepted because everybody feels happy when you are traveling outside the country. When I went there, the first thing the DG told me, we have not brought you here to enjoy, but you have brought here to learn. And the chief expert, who is now the chief expert for mechanical CAD in Lyon from Portugal, it's called Dario Pinto. He told me that although you have not come with a competitor, but I'm going to guide you on how to undertake this task. He gave me the opportunity to be the supervisor, and he taught me on how to conduct Worldskills. That was the first time I gained that knowledge. When I came to Kenya, DG again told me, we need your service. From that moment, I've never, actually, it's like I said, this is my home. I became Worldskills official. Every time when they need my service, they call me. I go there to the TVET office, we sit down, then we do some tasks. When they told me I'm going to supervise as an expert, because I know I'm a CAD/CAM, CNC expert, that is computer-aided design, computer-aided manufacturing, and computer numerical control expert. I was surprised, and even I asked myself, where can I belong? Because we have CNC turning and we have the mechanical CAD. I decided to give 3 experts, a new expert in CNC turning. I guided them, and I did a good job. I myself, we introduced what we call competition information system, a system that Worldskills normally use for their assessment, just like the IBC. When you vote, you submit the form. Is it that form 34 or form 34B? Then they enter the results. Also, they check the photo you have taken, you have sent, so that if it matches with whatever you have submitted as the hard copies, they're able to proceed. So this time we opted to use our system. Last week we used the same system, which is a very simple system. You design your project, but then from there you make a marking scheme using an Excel format from Worldskills. That format as an Excel is the one you upload in the CIS system, and then it will be able to generate the form 34A forms. I think some of you have seen those forms where you use to assess. It also has forms where you accept, you sign after assessment. So after this, after the previous competitions, I think it gave us now the light, because we are not seeing light at the end of the tunnel, but now we are seeing light at the end of the tunnel. We use a system. It gave us good results. Nobody knew who was the winner, because in that form you don't feel who is the winner. You don't do the total. You only do the scoring. It has the formulas, so that when we enter the score, it calculates the winners. In most cases, when you are doing an assessment, you may find in a practical, there are people who ties up. But the system, you will never find somebody who ties up. Because we are using what you call measurement and judgment. Where if you are using judgment, we use what you call a rating scale. In CBET, they normally use they have their own way of assessing, formative and summative of assessment. But in Worldskills, you have what you call measurement, where it assesses the quantitative, and we have what you call judgment, where it assesses the qualitative aspect. It has a rating scale of 0 to 3. So there's no way somebody can tie. So we, as an expert in that form, you only fill in what you call the score. When you enter in the system, the system calculates the score. If you are put, like, let's say 1, 2, 3, it will decline because it has a difference of more than 1. The system only accepts a difference of 1 or 0. So it tries to reduce the aspect of biasness and those errors that we make when you're assessing. So out of this, when you look at the two skills for this competition, the 04 mechatronics, the aspects that were used most as assessment criteria was measurement, which was around 79%, vis-a-vis the judgment, which was 21%. So you look at how the weighting was awarded, how it was balanced. Because judgment, in one skill, they give you to use either judgment or measurement, but you don't use one skill, one assessment over the other. You try to balance. In mechanical CAD, we had 90.1% measurement and 9.1% judgment. So it will tell you how the assessment was done. When you go to other skills, let's say cooking, you will find they are using 70% of judgment against the 29% of measurement. So the skill may change depending on the aspect you are using. The variance distribution on the Worldskills occupational standard, 04 mechatronics, we had 24% variance. That's just say the same way when you do exam moderations. You want to see how you are balancing the exam from the critical aspect of our curriculum or our occupational standard. For mechanical CAD, we had 0.2 variance. So it tells you how you have done your distribution of allocation of marks. And then when you look at the aspects, when you look at aspects, we had 181 aspects that were assessed in mechanical CAD, and we had 68 aspects that were assessed in mechatronics. The performance in terms of a Worldskills standard, in mechatronics we had 5 teams. How it was distributed, we had 37 sections for Worldskills occupational standard. The first group, that is Joshua Nyandwaki and Ray Wekesa, performed, that is scored 6.3 out of 9 under the work organization and management. They also performed 7.3 against 8 under the communication and interpersonal skills. They performed 8 score out of 16 under the setup mechatronic system with PLC 300. They performed 19 score out of 19 on the section of upgrading industrial controllers from PLC 300 to 1200. Section 5, they performed 18 out of 31 for integration of robotic with industrial PLC 1200 through software programming. The sixth section is interpretation of the sequence charts and tags. They performed 9 out of 9. Then the last section was analysis, commissioning, and maintenance. They performed 5.33 out of 8. So the overall score is 72.98 for the team of Joshua Nyandwaki and Ray Wekesa. The second team, Peter Kinyanjui Ndungu and Collins Kipkemboi. Section 1, they performed 4.33 out of 9. That is work, organization, and management. The second section is communication and interpersonal skills. They performed 5.33 out of 8. This section is good to understand where your weakness is. The third section is set up mechatronic system with PLC 300. They performed 3 out of 16. The fourth is upgrading industrial controllers from PLC 300 to 1200. They scored 10.5 out of 19. The fifth section is integration of robot with industrial PLC 1200 through software programming. They scored 9 out of 31. Interpretation of the sequence charts and tags, they scored 6 out of 9. Then the last is analysis, commissioning, and maintenance. They scored 2.34 out of 8. The overall score is 40.5. The third group is Andrew Juma, Andrew Juma and Franklin Owiya. The first section, that's work, organization, and management, they scored 4.33 out of 9. Communication and interpersonal skills, that is second section, they performed 5.33 out of 8. The third section is set up mechatronic system with PLC 300. They scored 10 out of 16. The fourth section is upgrading industrial controllers from PLC 300 to 1200. They scored 15.5 out of 19. The fifth section is integration of robot with industrial PLC 1200 through software programming. They scored 21 out of 31. The sixth section is interpretation of the sequence charts and tags. They scored 6 out of 9. And the last section is analysis, commissioning, and maintenance. They scored 3.34 out of 8. The overall score is 65.5 out of 100. The fourth group is Kinoti Mutugi Marvin versus Felix Mugira. Section 1, they scored 4.99 out of 9. That is work, organization, and management. Section 2, they scored 5.33 out of 8. That is communication and interpersonal skills. Section 3, they scored 12 out of 16. That is set up mechatronic system with PLC 300. The fourth section, they scored 11 out of 19. That is upgrading industrial controllers from PLC 300 to 1200. The fifth section is they scored 15 out of 31. That is integration of robot with industrial PLC 300 through the software programming. The sixth section is they scored 9 out of 9. Interpretation, sequence, chart, and tags. Then the last section is analysis, commissioning, and maintenance. They scored 3.23 out of 8. The overall score is 60.55 out of 100. The last group is Lamek Kimtai and Wycliffe Kiprop Sigei. Section 1, they scored 4.99 out of 9. That is work, organization, and management. Section 2, communication and interpersonal skills, they scored 5.33 out of 8. Section 3, that is set up mechatronic system with PLC 300, they scored 3 out of 16. Section 4, they scored 11 out of 19, that is upgrading industrial controllers from PLC 300 to 1200. The fifth section, they scored 14 out of 31. That is integration of robot with industrial PLC 1200 through software programming. The sixth section, they scored 8 out of 9. That is interpretation, sequence, charts, and tags. Then the last section, they scored 1.67 out of 8. That is analysis, commissioning, and maintenance. The overall score was 47.99 out of 100. The summary result, The first group, in Worldskills, the scoring for awarding, if a team is more than 5, we have the number 1, number 2, number 3. If a team is 4 competitors, we have number 1 and number 2. If a team is 3 and 3, we have only number 1 as a winner. If a team is 2 or less, we don't have a winner. So in mechatronics, we have 5 teams. So the first one, that is the gold medalist, is from DeKUT. That is Joshua Nyanduaki and Ray Wekesa, with the overall score of 72.998, using the 100 rating scale of Kenyan system. The second position is Andrew Juma and Franklin Owia, Kiambu National Polytechnic, a score of 65.5. That is silver. Then the third group, number 3, is Kinoti Mutugi Marvin and Felix Mugira from Kiria Technical and Training Institute. That is 60.55. So the first group, second group, and third group, you can come in front. The first group,
Okay, thank you. We have the gold medalists to come and take a photo with our chief guests. That side.
number 2, Andrew Juma and Franklin Oya, silver medalist. The last is Kinoti Mtugi, Marvin, and Felix Mugira, the bronze medalist. I will go direct to the summary, and then I will send all the detailed score for each competitor. For mechanical card, that is mechanical engineering card, skill number 5, we had 6 competitors, but 2 didn't come, so we only remained 4. One from DeKUT, another one from Kisii, RVTI, and Olesos. So as a team of 4, they only have 2 winners. Number 1, position 1 gold medalist is Mulwa Amos Sila. With a score of 54.83 out of 100. The second is Julia Wambui Kamau from Kisii National Polytechnic. With a score of 28.66. So number 1, you can come and take a photo. The silver medalist Julia Wambui Kamau from Kisii National Polytechnic.
Top 20 skills. Okay, thank you very much, Alfred Kim. Let us give a very good claps for the winners. Thank you very much. In total, Prof, for the entire competition, we have had 20 skills areas, 105 competitors, and 59 judges have involved themselves in this exercise. Reading from the results, we also learn something, and that's one of the main purpose of Worldskills competition. The level of skills development in the country. You have had the winner winning. In the previous competition, like in welding, we had the winners winning with we had winners winning with scores below 30%. Yes. The winners had 29, while at international level, the winner is having 90 plus. So you can see how far we are in meeting the international standards, how far we are. So we need to identify those weak areas and beef up. I was having a chat with the director linkage, and he was saying he was not agreeing with my statistics that we can't lack watu tu wakubani hizo vitu wakuchomelea. We have 2 types of welding. We have what we call ornamental welding and industrial welding. What we have in Kenya mostly are ornamental welders who weld gates. You do some spot welding here and there using the stick welding. But we lack industrial welders. I will quickly I went to if you go to Kenya Bureau of Standard Statistics, as a country we have only 90 certified welders with Kenya Bureau of Standards. Only 90 as a country. In the entire country, we have only 2 welders certified with 9606. And all of them are in Kenya Pipeline. They were airlifted to Spain. They are the people who maintain them. So if all of them in the same day fall sick and we have leakages, the entire country will have shortage. For the SGR, in terms of skills, we had 4,954 Chinese coming to Kenya to build our SGR. 4,554 Chinese. And we were supporting them with a budget of 1 billion per month. So you can see how this skills competition can bridge the gap and even bring in the foreign direct investment that I was talking about, and also making our youth now attract decent and quality jobs. For the welders for the SGR, we were using 10. All of them were from, I think 2 are from Nigeria and the 8 from Lebanon. They were going home with a salary of 360,000 per month. So we still have some catch up to make, and that's why during my opening remarks I said it's no longer fashionable to say that I'm graduating with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering, or in mechatronics engineering. What's now fashionable to say is, which skills do you possess in mechanical engineering? Yes, you are a mechanical engineer, but which skills do you possess? Because you can see even in mechanical engineering, if you decide to take welding as a skill, it's sufficient for you to earn a decent living. Because if you are going to get 360,000 per month by being a welder, so you need to pursue a certain skill area in your main educational body that you are taking or a program and pursue it as your career. With that, I've been given here, I think they were the samples that were used by people from KUCT. They were designing and they were supposed to produce this sample. You can see how beautiful it is. I think this is from aluminium. The experts will pick one so that you can go back home and showcase what you came to do in this competition. After this, you'll collect this from me. At this point, allow me now to officially declare the competition closed and wish you a safe journey back home to your respective destination. Thank you. Let us meet again.
Yeah, thank you. I would like to communicate about, I think there is arrangement for lunch, right? So competitors and the expert, you have arrangement for your lunch. And we make sure that you sign the required document in terms of attendance, because your principals, your institution will need those kind of documents. At some point they may ask us. So it's good to have all those documents. You verify with Josephine. Make sure that all the documents required for expert, the presence, the attendance for this event, because their institution may require, and also TVET requested us all the